I was just thinking about a lady I saw yesterday. She came in and she's just diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. She had blood tests, which was kind of fun to look at. So 6 months ago she had a blood test and her blood sugar was slightly high. Her A1C was, just slightly high, which is the measure of blood sugar control. It was like, just over 5, I think almost 5.96. And within 6 months, it went to 10.2. And I was like, so for that to happen, there's some type of immune reaction that's going against the pancreas that's causing those cells to quit. Well, a question I asked her, because she came to Wellness Center, someone referred her to us, as a friend of hers, and she was just trying to understand. They put her on a bunch more medication, and she's like, a bunch of medication, and she's like, I don't understand how this happened or why it happened. I asked her this question. I said, what was going on the last several years in your life? She stopped and thought, and she got a little teary, and she goes, well, I used to work for the Boys and Girls Club, and I just loved it. But I figured I just needed to do something different. So I went into real estate, and she said I hated it. She said it wasn't for me. I didn't like it. I didn't like what I was doing. And then she had some other family stress that happened in her life at the same time, and her whole body started breaking down. Is stress killing you? Very possible. What are you going to do about it? I think in life we'll have stress. How we choose to manage it, how we choose to deal with it, is totally dependent on what we know. I really think that some of the biggest stressors we have in our life are relationships, finances, and health. And I've asked myself this many times and many people. I said, if those are some of the biggest stressors we have in life, how much schooling have you had on those? How much schooling have you had on finances and how to manage it? How much schooling have you had on relationships and how you communicate better? How much education have you truly had on food and how they affect you? Very few people can say, yeah, I've had training on all of those a lot. Actually, I don't think anybody's ever told me that. Well, perhaps it's not that we're not smart, it's perhaps we haven't been taught. So at a wellness center, one of the things that we will consider looking at is teaching you stress management skills. The book I'm holding here called Feelings, Bury, Live, Never Die is true. If we have feelings and emotions that we haven't processed, then they may be affecting your health. A guy came in one time after his wife had passed, and he said, I talked to this counselor, and the counselor said, you're going to go through grief now or later. When do you choose to go through it? The emotions we have in our life are designed to be there. It's like a roller coaster. Hey, if you didn't ride a roller coaster and it was no fun, we probably wouldn't do it again. Your life is designed to have emotions, but how do we choose to process that? How do we choose to work through it? It's totally up to us. So here at the Wellness Center, we look at teaching people different skill sets. We have group classes that we use a lot of times. We teach them different techniques that they can use. We use neurofeedback. We use what's called self-mastery technology. But the key factor is giving you skills and techniques to help you learn how to manage your stress. At what age do we start? As soon as we can. I've worked with kids all the way up to adults and teaching how to manage their stress differently. Can it make a difference? Absolutely. Share one brief story. I talked to a friend of mine that practices this way in Colorado. He had this lady come into her. He'd ran some blood work. She was just breaking down. Her whole body's just sick all the time. And she wasn't getting well. This was for almost a couple of years. And she looked really ashy and gray, and he was talking to her, and again he asked the same question, what was going on in your life? And she had twin girls, and they were killed hit by 18-wheeler and killed. 6 months later, her husband developed cancer and died, and her heart was shutting down. And he spent some time doing some nutritional things with her, but he also asked her, how she was doing with her faith. Because she knew she was a Christian lady, and he said, I just maybe go home and just pray to God. And he went home, and she went home. He said she prayed. She prayed so loud that the neighbors were going to hear. He said she went through that process. She heard 3 times. She heard almost like an audible voice says, "Is my grace sufficient for you?" And after hearing it the 3rd time, she understood it, that his grace was sufficient for her. And that from that point, that was a turning point in her. When she came in the next week to my friend, she was already healing. One of the key factors to getting well for any one of us is the body has to have a reason to be well. So if we're into a state of drama, if we're in a state of emotional distress, it's very, very difficult for your body to heal. So at a wellness center, we address those different 6 steps to wellness, identify what we can do to help to pull the body out of that stress cycle, and teach you skills where you can manage your stress differently.